Crafters, Janine here, and today I'm going to be showing you how I made these really cute little pennants to make a birthday banner for my granddaughter who is celebrating her first birthday. And of course I made this using my Cricut and some craft paper, and I just think it came out really adorable, and I think it's going to be a beautiful decorative piece for her party. And if you'll stay tuned, I'll show you how I did this. Okay, I cut the rosette out, and again, with all the Cricut projects I do, I'm going to put my blog post link in the description below with the cartridges that I used. What I do with these rosettes, because for me it's easier, if you're making them smaller, if you're making them larger, this may not be possible, but I go ahead and weld like 3 of the pieces together and then cut them in 2 separate pieces and glue them in the middle. It's a lot easier than trying to glue 6 pieces together. That's just a bit much in my opinion, and sometimes Cricut just doesn't cut these. My old Cricut, I have an old Cricut machine, but anyway, so the rosettes are cut, and you just start accordion folding them, and that takes a little while for something this long, so I'm going to save you the boredom of watching me accordion fold this very long piece of paper to make this rosette. So the magic of television, when we come back, it's going to be all done and ready to go. So here's our little rosette all folded up, and now what we have to do is make it into a circle. So we've got to glue the 2 ends together. I'm going to take this glue stick pen that I have and just run a little bit of glue there. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Okay, after you let that glue set for a little bit, you just pop it out like so. And what you've got is a cute little rosette. Now, so that it will stay a cute little rosette, what you do is you cut a couple little medallions out, and again with your handy dandy little glue stick, and since these glue sticks are fairly quick drying, you just hold that in place for a little bit. The other thing that the medallion does for you, you know, besides helping your rosette to hold its shape, it also gives you a surface to attach your rosette to your pennant, and also a surface to attach your letters to. So, and I might actually need to use a stronger glue for this. I just like the glue stick because it's pretty fast drying, but it might not be strong enough. That's not working out so good for me, so I'm going to try this glue instead. Then I put most of the glue in the center, and I think that's part of my problem. Let's try putting the glue on the outside edge instead. And I think my folds weren't particularly neat. I think if I had done a little bit more even folding. That's what happens when you get in a little bit too much of a hurry. Okay, now the glue has dried on my rosette, and I'm ready to attach it to my pennant, but let me go ahead and tell you how I constructed my pennants. I started by cutting pennants out of just decorative paper. The paper stack that I used was this paper stack that I purchased from Walmart. It's 12 by 12 paper stack. And it's in these really bright, fun, summery colors in the hot pinks and greens. And I used the solids from this paper stack. And because my machine, my Cricut machine, is a smaller one, it's an older one, it can't handle the 12-inch wide. So what I did was I cut the pieces of paper in half, and I cut one 6-inch wide pennant per half of paper, per 6-inch piece of paper. And then on the bottom of it I cut the inside pieces for my cards that I made, matching cards for these. But anyway, and then I realized about halfway through, like, oh, this paper is not going to be sturdy enough to make a banner with. I don't know what I was thinking. So I went ahead and got some pink cardstock and thought I'll just go ahead and cut the cardstock to the same size that I cut the paper and just glue it on, and everything will be hunky-dory. Well, I don't know what happened in the process between cutting out all the colored paper, which I cut it in pink, orange, and greens, and then I cut the cardstock, and for some reason the size changed, and I didn't change it, so I don't know how it changed. So the paper and the cardstock were not the same size. So I had to figure out a way to make it work. I could have just went ahead and just used the cardstock and not used the colored paper, but I really did want to use the colored paper because I liked having the pennants in the different colors. So to make it work, I just went ahead and cut the corners off, because now of course the holes weren't matching up between the colored paper and the cardstock. So I just cut the corners off, and you can see here, because the little scallop here at the bottom didn't match, and along the edges didn't quite match. But this ended up looking okay, in my opinion. And then by the time you add the rosette in the middle, and then you add the, oh, what did I do with my, hang on, there it is, letters. Okay, and then when you add the letter to the middle of that, everything looks fine. And then of course there's the ribbon that, you know, that's going to join everything. So I think it looks fine with those corners cut off. I just don't think it's going to be all that noticeable. And you can see how important the little medallion in the middle of the rosette is, because it gives you something to attach the letters to. And now let's talk about the letters. I chose one, and you can see it's this striped paper. Since all the solid papers in the background of the banner, you know, the pennants, was going to be different colored papers, I decided rather than using a bunch of different patterns from the book to stick with one pattern for the letters, to have that one uniformity. I thought would look better and kind of tie everything together and keep everything together. But again, after I had all the letters cut out, I realized, oh wow, this is just way too flimsy. You know, it's not going to be sturdy enough to be a banner. So again, I went ahead and cut the letters out of a coordinating cardstock and glued them just with a simple spray adhesive, and that's how I did how I attached the decorative paper onto the cardstock. I just used a spray adhesive that I got from the dollar store, sprayed it on the paper, and just laid it over the cardstock, pressed it down, easy peasy. Did the same thing, sprayed it onto the cardstock, laid the paper over it, smoothed it down, worked out perfect. So just going to put a dot of glue on the medallion, stick it onto the pennant. Going to put a dot of glue on that medallion, stick the letter on top of that, and then I'm going to string everything together with my glittery ribbon, and voila, a beautiful banner for my baby girl's first birthday. Well, this is how the banner looks once you get all the pieces completed and you string a ribbon through it. And let me see if I can zoom in and show you the ribbon strung through a little bit closer up. Give me just a sec. I'm sorry, I'm doing this in my dining room, and the lighting in here is not all that spectacular for filming. And I just think this turned out really great. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed seeing how to use die cutting machines and different kinds of paper products to make really cute party decorations. Please remember to give me a thumbs up and rate, comment, and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.